settling into your seat and feeling the weight of your pelvis. Each foot on the floor. There's a sweet grounding action that happens when we feel the bones of us. So in your feet, just like pick one heel up, then the other. And as if when your heel comes down, I, I guess you could say like smushing a tin can. So there's some emphasis to the push down, but not so much that you're slamming your heel to the ground. So it's a heel lift lower alternating. And then switch it and lift the toes up, the forefoot part. So you're moving at the ankle joint to get your toes up in the air. And again, alternate it and keep repeating it. And when the forefoot lands on the ground, let the bones just rest down and extend out. We're working some muscles here of the lower leg. And if you're not used to doing this, you might be getting tired. That's okay. Take a break. Finish it up. And now in your pelvis, let's rock side to side. Let's oompa loompa, right? So you got a pickup of one buttock, a setting down of the bones. And again, let's focus not so much on the tip as much as the placement down. So when you come down onto that one pelvic half, it's as if you're going into clay. So there's a little resistance. Clay will move if you push it a little bit. We've all worked with Play-Doh, right? We all know what that feels like. So give it a little push down and emphasize that. So you're making almost like a little saucer cup for your sitting bone to sit in every time you push. Okay, and then finish up, bringing our hands to our heart, grounding in our experience has a lot of value. We will often do things to try to escape what is the ground of our being. It can feel overwhelming to be alive. That's why um, so many of us will turn to other substances to take us out of what it feels like to be alive. And then release your hands. All right, take a big breath up. Yeah, so there's other substances, they give us feelings of elation or calming down, right? And they help kind of meter the flow of the current of aliveness. And as you guys know, with electricity, we know that in our own homes, like you have to have a grounding current to this electrical charge. Slide your fingers together, turn your palms open and reach. So there's this trust when we're in the world, um, you know, riding on our own current of energy, that we're going to be able to ground so that, when the flow's too strong or when the flow's not strong enough, right, we can plug in. And this practice really is about plugging into source. Sweep the arms out wide. Place your hands on your shoulders, bend your elbows. Elbows tuck in, head goes down. Elbows circle out and around. So your head is doing an oppositional movement of the elbows. When the elbows circle and descend, lift your head up, look up. And when your head looks down, your elbows are rising, glued together as long as possible. So right here in this movement, you're playing with these currents of upflow and downflow just by circling through the arms, lowering them and lifting them, and bowing and lifting with the head. One more time. Releasing the arms down, take a big breath up. We'll lateral bend. I'm dropping my right arm, tipping to the right. You may go visually in the same direction as me, then probably you're going to be flipping those cues. Or you can go look opposite of me, right? Since I am teaching and practicing right, left. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release the arms. Big breath up. Second side, for me, it's my left arm going down and tipping left. Relaxing the shoulder of the hand that's holding the chair. Relax that shoulder. And breathe while you stay grounded in your seat with both sitting bones. In breath and come up. Big breath up again. This time, take your arms back behind you, grab your chair and push it down. So here we are trying to like plug the chair into the earth. So it's not a casual hold. There's a little bit of grip strength, right? The ability to hold the chair firmly, but not so much that it gives you, an ache in the hands, but a firm hold so that the direction of push of the hands is into the earth, plugging the chair into the earth. And then release. Hands to thighs, feet wide. Breathe, tip forward, rise. A couple of these. Now, as you tip forward and rise, you can feel that the grounding action of the pelvis is a little more dynamic now, right? Because the sitting bones are tipping back, and then you're rising tall and you're landing on the sitting bone. So just feel that. Feel that. It's almost like you're in a rocking chair. Right? You're rocking on your own pelvic bones. One more time with this movement from your pelvis, tipping. Okay, good. Come upright. Big breath up. Side bend to the right leg. Add a rotation. Turn to the ground. And then add the rotation where you turn to the sky. Stay on this side and just turn down, turn up on your timing. One more. Anchor into both sitting bones. Rise up. Second side, big breath up. For me, it's my left arm down, right arm in the sky. And on your timing, add in your rotations. One more. Press into the feet, the sitting bones, in breath and rise up. Hands on thigh bones, turn opposite shoulder to knee. So shoulder to knee, get a little forward bend twist. Keep pushing down with your hands on your leg bones so that you feel the grounding action of the feet. Keep going. Push down before you twist. So plug in before you turn. Last time each side. Come to center. Heel toe your feet in. Turn sideways in your chair. Get your whole thigh bone on the chair. Doesn't matter which way you turn. So thigh bone resting on the chair, knee pit of the front leg up against the chair. So you've got a really nice grounding support of the front leg femur. We want that. Let it rest down. Step the back leg back as much as you feel comfortable. So after a couple of breath cycles, you might feel like it could extend more, or you might feel like it might be better if it folded more. So allow yourself to make those changes. Turn your belly and your ribs towards your front leg, and then in breath, your back leg arm up. Optional second arm up. On the exhale, we're going to enter a twist here. So the front leg arm to the back of the chair, turn your ribs to the back of the chair. And then the option is to put two hands on the chair and breathe. These twists, it's like we're revolving around our own currents of energy, which we are. We're literally spinning. Use an in breath, come to center, step your back leg forward, and let's turn around. So start with the front leg. Normally we start with the back leg, right, when we're actually weight bearing in shapes. But here, because we have this awesome prop of the chair, we can practice letting our front thigh bone rest. And that means you got to move backwards on the chair till you really feel like the knee pit of the front leg coming up against the chair, almost like you can kick your front heel backwards. That would give a little more muscle energy if you like kind of drag the front heel backwards and activated a little more, but still resting the leg. All right, turning your belly and your ribs towards your front leg. In breath, back leg, arm up. Remembering that as you continue to breathe, the back leg can make adjustments. It can move further away, it can come a little closer. So you're feeling your way through that. Optional second arm up. Keep breathing. Adding a twist to this, so front leg arm to the chair, and then turn your ribs towards the chair back, and second hand to chair is an option. Breathing in your lunge twist. On an inhale, come out of your twist. Bring your back leg forward, turn to face front. Stretch one leg out. I've got my right leg stretched out. And then sweeping the arms up, sweep the earth and repeat it. You're just coming up, big breath, bow over. So it's a dynamic hamstring stretch. You now have this opportunity to really ground through the long leg heel. Like, can you plug your heel into the ground while the toes spark out and spread wide and lengthen and extend? Finish it up. Second side. Breathe. Plug in the heel, plug in the pelvis. And remember, the pelvis is going to be dynamic here. It's going to be like a rocking chair. Plug in the standing foot where the whole foot's on the ground, heel through big toe ball joint to baby toe ball joint. Couple more. All right, finish up. Right leg crosses over left, figure 4. Hands to thighs, ankle flexed, and then hinge forward, rise up. So moving in and out of a little deeper move here, right? Check out your ankle joint. Look at your ankle. Make sure it's not got its funny twists and torques to it. So see if you can line the ankle joint up as if it was standing, right? So there's a clean presentation without any bends. One more. Okay, uncross and let's switch sides. So second side, figure 4. Plugging into foot on ground, hands to thigh bones, breathing. And when you're ready, forward fold and come out of it. So rocking on sitting bones that are still plugged in. Two more times. Okay, finishing that up, nice and wide feet, hands to thighs, forward fold, and then if it feels good, put your hands on the floor. Let your head release to the ground. Left hand midline of you, right hand to right thigh. Turn your ribs so you're turning the rib cage to the right. And you can keep the right hand on the right thigh. You could also reach the right arm just straight out. You could also push more with the left hand, right? Plug it in and then get the reach and then expand the right arm skyward. Wait for an inhale. Exit out of your twist. Two hands on the ground. Moving right hand a little bit to the center line of you, move your left hand to your left thigh. Push onto the left thigh with the left hand to help ground the left side as you spin the right ribs to the left. Left arm can reach out, just straight out. It could also stay on thigh bone. And if you want a little bit more, you push with the right hand, even though it stays plugged in, and expand the left arm as much as you feel comfortable. One more breath cycle. Inhale to come out of your twist. Continue to breathe, push into the feet, rise up tall. Heel toe your feet together. Move to the edge. Standing up, sitting down, just 5 times. So rise up and then sit right back down. Keep it going. Last 2. Stay up. And release the arms down by your side. Okay. Standing tall, float the arms up, reach them wide, bring your right arm in, your left arm underneath. You've moved into eagle arms. Reach from back of heart to elbow tips and add in your circle. Reverse the direction of your circle. Open your arms out wide, release them down. Second side, stretch up, reach wide. Second arm in first. That's for me, the left, other arm underneath. And then expansion from the back of you to the front of you while your feet stay rooted into the earth. Circle, elbow tips, reverse. Wait for an inhale, open the arms, exhale them down. Inhale, big breath up, arms open, thumbs to the sky, palms down, thumbs down, palms down, thumbs up, palms up. One more time. Thumbs up, palms down, thumbs down, palms down, thumbs up, palms up. Did you get all that? You're just rotating through the arm directions. If you rotated, you did great. Clasp your hands back behind your back. Draw your tail down, lift up through the center of your chest while you stay plugged in through your feet by rooting into the heels, pressing into the big toe ball joint, and spreading the toes wide. Release the bind of your hands. Stretch your arms up, open them out. Take your right arm, turn thumb down. Take your left arm, raise it above your head, and then tuck your hand that's up above your head into the midline and move the elbow closer towards your ear. Press your head back into your arm, and then the long arm's just going to bend and reach back. So you're just adding in a shoulder stretch. Nice. 2 more breath cycles. On the in-breath, expand your arms out. On the exhale, release them down. Big breath up. Arms to a T. Let's rotate the left arm, palm down, right arm up to the sky, bend the right elbow. So this should be the opposite of what you did just a moment ago. Tuck your elbow in on the top arm, and when you're ready, fold the bottom arm. Keep pressing your head back and breathe. On an inhale, reach big. On the exhale, release down. Okay, chair to the top. Let's take an L pose. So walking back for your L pose, bend your knees. Keeping your sitting bones lifted, draw your tailbone in. Maintain a fullness through your back waist by keeping the bottom of the rib cage lifted as you pull out from your armpits to your fingers. One more breath cycle. Walk forward from your L pose. Put your right foot under the chair, your left leg back for a high lunge. Plugging into your front heel, pull back. Plug into the big toe ball joint of the back foot and pull forward. With your ribs over your pelvis, raise your back leg arm up. Optional front leg arm up too. And then remembering what it was like when we were in the chair and you could let your front leg thigh bone rest. So imagine, somebody just slipped a piece of slippery laminate, so it won't give you any splinters, right? Just a smooth board, this glossy surface underneath your front leg thigh bone. And you can just go, oh, I can rest down on that. So see what can happen there. It's going to require you to be stronger in this shape. Okay, exhale, arms down, step together, switch legs, high lunge. Breathe. So plugging into the front heel and pulling it back. Plugging in strongly into the big toe ball joint of the back foot and pulling it forward. Back leg arm up. Breathe. And with the ribs and head stacked on your pelvis, explore if you want to raise the other arm. You don't have to, because the bigger cue is what's going on with that front thigh bone and remembering what it was like to just let it rest on the chair and imagining now that you got this friend who's just kind of shown up and they're holding a lovely thin piece of smooth laminate underneath your front thigh bone. So it's, got a nice glide under there and you can rest on it. It is going to take more strength from you imagining this. Okay, exhale, arms down, push front foot, step together, back leg. Big breath up, hands into heart space. Turn your chair seat around so it faces you. Standing on your left foot, put your right foot up on the chair. Inhale, arms up. Open your arms out to a T. The front leg arm, raise it to the sky and bend the elbow. So hands to head. And then the back leg, the one on the ground, turn that arm thumb down. So you're doing that same stretch for the upper body. So then bending the bottom elbow. And the two hands are coming towards each other in the back plane as you press your head back and breathe. On an in-breath, expand both arms, exhale them down, step off your chair, and let's do the other side. So second foot up. Inhale, arms up. Open them out to a T. Back leg arm goes up to the sky, elbow bends. Front leg arm, thumb down, arm comes in. And if you did the opposite of this a second ago, just do it the way, do your opposite. Breathe. On an in-breath, expand the arms, exhale them down. Step off your chair. Turn sideways to your chair. So I've got my right side to the chair. Left foot turns in, right foot turns open, plugging your feet into the earth by pressing into your heels. And the mound of the big toe and the pad of the big toe. Bend your front knee, come into your first lower body form of warrior two. Yeah. And then let's imagine we've got that friend showing up. Maybe you got two friends, right? One holding each end of the board, and they've slipped it underneath your front leg thigh bone. So your front leg thigh bone can rest, it can ground. It's going to take strength in this shape, right? Because there really isn't a chair or a board under there. So you're going to feel your own structural strength as you rest back with your thigh bone. Stretch your arms up, reach them out wide. Bring your back leg arm in first, your front arm underneath. So you have eagle arms here in your warrior two shape. Keep expanding from back of heart to elbow tip. You look good. Arms reach out again. Hand to chair seat, top hand to sky. Turn down, turn up. So this is your rib rotation from the warm up. Turn down, turn open. Staying open, expand your arm to the sky and then reline yourself up so that you're in neutral through your spine. And then take your top arm over your head. So extending your side angle pose. Looks good. Breathe. Staying grounded in your back foot outer heel. A little bit more grounded in the front foot big toe, pad and ball joint. And then inhale and come up. Exhale and release the arms. Okay. Heel toe the feet in. And let's go to the other side. So either move your chair or turn around. And we'll take a wide stance. So we've got the left side of us closest to the chair. Breathe. Back foot furthest from the chair, turn in. Front foot closest to the chair, turn open. Come into your first lower body form, what we call the general form of the pose, right? And then once we approach the general form of the pose, then the whole rest of what follows is just refinements. Sometimes it's moving forward with the current, sometimes it's backing off the current, right? Slowing it down. Breathe. Imagine you got some friends with a great board. They can slide under your front thigh bone. Yeah, as you stay plugged into both feet, stretch your arms up big. Reach them out wide. Back arm in first for eagle arms. Front arm underneath. Back of the heart to elbow tips reaches. Open the arms out wide. Hand to chair seat, top hand to the sky. And this is your turn down, turn up. So rib rotation, moving at your pace. Staying in your lengthened spine, realigning so you're in neutral. And with your top arm reaching skyward, add the rotation of the arm. So it goes overhead and you just extend out your side angle pose, plugging in with more vigor into the back foot outer heel. And then giving yourself like almost like a little punch or rubber stamping of the big toe on the front foot, both its pad and ball joint. Maintaining that, use an inhale and come up. Exhale and release the arms. Okay, heel toe your feet in. Woo, chair to the top. Let's take an L pose. Walk forward and stand. Tree pose. So right leg closest to the chair. Outside leg will be the left leg. That's the one coming up into tree pose. So find the grounding action of your right foot. Let the bones commit to the ground, and then moving left leg up into your version of tree. Folded leg. See if that arm's willing to go up. Yeah, and then if it is, really reach from back of waist up through thumb. And then you can check out whether or not you want to explore the second arm coming up. So you've entered really trusting, the one leg's ability to plug in. Now, you have more than that. You've got the inner line of the standing leg plugging into the bent leg foot. You got the bent leg foot plugging in to the standing leg, which is driving all that current energy into the earth. I mean, you got this. When you're ready, hands down and foot to the ground, switching sides. So either turn around or move your chair. Left leg is now your standing leg. It's the one plugging into source, to the current of grace in your life. And then outside leg comes up into tree pose. Then remembering that we just don't have the standing leg, right? So big breath up, folded leg up that's in tree pose, up in the air. You've also got the plug-in of standing leg into bent knee foot, and you've got the foot plugging into the inner line of the standing leg. So it's almost like you're running extension cords. Right? So you want good connections here, right? If you don't have a good connection, things don't light up. Breathe. On an exhale, arms. And then when you're ready, feet to the ground. Looking good. Let's take an L pose. Bend your knees. Lift your sitting bones. Lightly draw your tailbone in. Two more breath cycles. All right, walk forward and stand. Good work. So we're going to turn the chair seat to face us and move through some vinyasa. Lots of vinyasa. It just means poses linked together. This next little sequence is like the world famous vinyasa that, takes center stage. It's like the diva of vinyasas. All right, release your arms down. Big breath up. Exhale, chair pose. Plug in those feet so you can release the hips so the knees will bend. Wait for the exhale, hands to the chair seat. Step back for your plank. Push and ground into the toe hinge of the big toe ball joint and the baby toe ball joint. Pressing with your left foot, draw your right knee to chest and then plant your right foot on the ground. Left knee bends, you're coming into a low lunge. Sweep left arm up. Breathe. Wait for the exhale, left hand down. Push with the right foot, lift, lengthen. Step back plank. Breathe. Plugging in with your right big toe ball joint, left knee to chest. Pick it up. Bigger. And then step your left foot forward. So you've come into a lunge shape with knee and ankle stacked. Back knee down to the ground. It's just here momentarily. And then floating back leg arm up, maybe front leg arm up. You pick it. Exhale, arms down. Tuck your back toes. Plug into the back leg big toe ball joint. Step back plank. Pull forward with the heart into an upward facing dog. And then pike your pelvis up and back for a variation of down dog, which we'll call like a bigger L pose on the chair. So ground the heels. Let the pelvis move back away from the chair. Bend your knees to do that. Scooping the tail lightly in so the belly lifts. And the base of the ribs lifted to fill your back waist. Pull out from ribs to armpits. Walk forward. Stand, take a big breath up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's go through that one more time. Big breath up. Sit down as if you're going in a chair. Plug those feet in. Heels root. Big toe ball joint, baby toe ball joint. Hands touch the chair, fold forward. Step right leg back, lunge. Right knee down. Right arm up. No, I did not forget the planks. They're coming. Left arm up. You're like, oh, goody, no planks. Now they're coming. Hands down. Push left foot, tuck right toes, step together, second side, left leg back, left knee down, left arm up, optional right arm up. Breathe. Hands return to the chair seat. Push with the right foot, step the left foot forward, take a big breath up. Hands to heart. Big breath up. Here's what I promised. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to plank. Breathe. Plank. Strong legs. Plug in from pelvis to the toe hinge. Big toe ball joint, baby toe ball joint. Pull forward with the heart. Come up through your up dog. Pull. Don't let the belly drop. Open the chest more by spiraling the inner arms forward. Lengthen through the top back of your head and press your head back. Press up, back, downward facing dog with the chair, just a deeper L pose. Breathe. Once you land your heels, plug them in, bend your knees, lift your sitting bones. Keeping the tip of the pelvis upward, it's called the dog tilt. Pelvis stays lifted, but tail draws in. That's the end point of the spine, and they're an oppositional movement. One more breath cycle. And walk forward to stand. Big breath up. Hands to heart. Big breath up again. We're squatting. We're going to come down into kneeling at the chair. So as you forward fold, pick a knee to place on the earth. And then the second knee. So now from knees to shin bones to tops of feet, plugging in. Use your hands on your chair and spin the inner arms forward so the front of the chest opens and the head of the arm bones move back. Breathe. See if you can press down and ground through the legs more. And you can feel what's in contact with the earth in the lower leg. Go for it. Push down. So you can get other parts to go down. And if you're really working, pressing the legs down, I shouldn't have to tell you to compact your butt. It should just be happening. Keeping the left hand on the chair, raise the right arm up. Breathe. Returning the right arm to the chair, press and push, grounding the legs, grounding the right hand, spinning the head of the right arm bone forward so armpit chest opens. Breathe, the left arm up is an option. And on the exhale, bring it down. Come into a tricep, all fours on the chair. So the tricep is that area from elbow to armpit. Put that part of your arm on the chair. And you might even be comfortable resting your forehead on the chair. So now you got, some part of the triceps on the chair, the forehead on the chair, so that's plugged in. Knees are rooted, lower legs are grounding, even into the foot. Round your spine like a cat. Stick your butt out, pull your chest forward. Now your head's staying here neutral and you're articulating your spine. Woo, right? With some very fixed points at the end points, right? You got some parts of you really grounding well so that we can find some movement in the middle. I often think of it like a rope bridge across a canyon. You want to know those anchor points are strong. And there's not going to be a lot of sway if you've got good anchor points in the upper body and in the lower body. So this bridge shape of going through cat and cow with your spine is going to have a limited movement, but it's got movement and play there. So do 2 more passes of cat and cow. Once more. Okay, good. Coming off your chair, put your hands on your ground. You can move your chair out of your way. We don't need it anymore. And in a forced position, take your right leg, step it out to a side lunge. Yeah, and then just shift your weight back towards your left heel. So you're just checking out that position. There you go. You're getting there. All right, so with your bent leg, put your right hand on your right thigh. That's my bent leg. Then my other hand on the ground, pushing. Top arm up and over the head. Come forward, go to the ground. So now it's a forward fold through the center of you. Bring your hands closer towards your body and come up. And we'll switch sides. So start by putting 2 knees down. So you're like in a tabletop all 4 shape. And then your other leg takes sideways into the lunge. There you go. All right, so your bent leg, put your arm on your thigh bone. And we know we're encouraging that thigh bone to rest back, right? As we stay plugged in through the foot of the lunge leg and then the kneeling leg. It's not just laying there. It's from the shin bone through the top of the foot. It's grounding. In breath and come up and then laterally bend, go sideways. We're going forward. Shift your pelvis back towards your heel. So pelvis moving towards folded leg, kneeling leg, heel. So for me, that's my right heel. As your body takes kind of the shape of a child's pose in the front half. Breathe. Press into what's touching earth to use your inhale and come up. 2 knees down, sit down on your bottom. Lots of things get to ground when we sit. So strong grounding action. So even just like we did in the warm up, rock your pelvis so you feel like, oh yeah, I got sitting bones. And as if they're imprinting into Play-Doh, right? And you can, I'm doing a little quickie, you could do it slow or quick. All right, and then settle them both in. Let them both be settled. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms are going behind you. This is staff pose. So they can go beside you or behind you. We did a lot of prep in the shoulder girdle in today's practice to see if we could get them back there. So if they're comfortable behind you, go. But if you're like, I'd rather have them next to me or a little in front of me, that's fine too. Bend the elbows, open the front of the chest, push down. You got so much grounding possibility here. You got heels, right? Back of Achilles tendon. That could ground. Your calves, your back of your knees, both the inner and outer edge of back of knees. What you got more of? And you can ground the whole thigh bone. What you feel there? Both sitting bones, you got those. And then you've got your hands. Can they push and ground better? One more breath here in your staff pose. Nice work. And then release. Let's wiggle to the middle of the mat and Then lay down. So staff pose, good work with that. That looked really nice, everybody. You were able to keep the legs long and stay lifted through your body. And that's a big deal. That is a very big deal. Draw your right knee to chest, stretch your left leg out. Adding optional, a hamstring stretch on the right leg, so lengthening the right leg any amount. Breathe. Mhm. Once we lay on the ground, we've got so much that can plug into earth. Every time I lay on the ground, I think of what was that movie with all the blue people? Avatar, the first one. I hope I'm not ruining it for you if you haven't seen it, but at the end of the movie, um, yeah, one of the characters, fold your right leg, put your right foot on the ground, and let's switch legs. Left knee to chest. Right leg extends out. One of the characters isn't doing so well, and the source is some sort of tree or something, some sort of energetic structure that's like a tree and has roots, and the roots completely uh, ground the character. Now, I can't remember if the character dies or regenerates. I don't know. I forget how it actually ends. But just when I saw that, I'm like, wow, that's what we do in our yoga practice. We grow roots all over us that help us ground and anchor into source. Lengthen your left leg. So if you haven't seen the Avatar movie, the very first one, I don't even know what it was called, but the first one that came out so many years ago, just skip to the end to see that scene. I do remember crying. Those are the two things I remember. I remember going, wow, what a great visual. And second, I remember uh, crying. And I think it was tears of recognition, like tears of recognition of how important it is for us to plug into source and return to source. Helps us with being alive. Fold your left leg, left foot on the ground, right foot on the ground, knees are bent. Arms to cactus and then knee drop. So let's linger on one side. So as you come into your simple twist on your first side, doesn't matter which way you went, you're perfect. You're in your simple twist. Imagine every part of you having some sort of root coming off of you and then uh, twining into the ground. So it's not just like a straight cable. Even a cable has those twists in it and braids in it, right? Even a really strong cable, like a cable they would use for a rope bridge, right? Or a rope swing. Breathe. Use your bottom leg push up into your top leg. And on the inhale, come to center. And when you're ready, on the exhale, second side, you're going into a simple twist. And we're here. And you're seeing how much you're going to allow yourself to ground, not just with all the parts that you always ground in this shape with. You got your ways you come into this, just like I do, right? I got my ways. And with each breath cycle, just kind of lighting up in your own awareness the other parts of you that you're like, well, what if that part of me that's still feeling like it's floating, right? Starts growing some tether lines, some anchoring lines that aren't pulling hard. They're not yanking me into the earth, but it's like a slight drawing to the earth, almost like docking a boat, right? That finesse of coming home and into port, into the dock. Breathe. Use an inhale to come out of your twist. Draw your knees towards your chest. Take your hands to your knees and circle. Reverse the direction of your circle. Placing your feet on the floor, determining if this first shape is really good for you to plug in, or as you head into rest, do you want to take another shape so that you can plug in? You could even put your legs up a wall or on a couch. You could extend the legs out. So you're deciding, like, in this final rest portion of class, where is it that you can allow your bones to get heavy? Enjoy your breath. Feeling the weight of you, grounded with earth. Begin moving parts of you, how it feels good to move them. So you're making free choice here. And then whatever shape you're in is perfect. Just moving your hands into your heart space. A moment of connection and grounding into the heart of our being. When we're grounded and plugged in to what we believe is source for us, it allows us to ride these currents of life energy, both the elation or the upward energy, and also the downward energy, the sadness, the recognition of we have limited time here. It helps us ride these currents. Namaste.